I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. Welcome to today's piano tutorial of No Longer Slaves in the key of C. We're going to start off by learning 4 basic chords, which are F major, which consists of F, A, C, followed by G major, which consists of G, B, D, and then move up one more position to A minor, which consists of A, C, and E. So again, that's F major, G major, and A minor. And the last chord we're going to take a look at is C major, which consists of C, E, and G. But if you guys know me, instead of having that G on the top, we're going to move it down to the bottom. This becomes C major in second inversion, and it's right next to our other chords, and there's no need to make any big jumps. And it sounds a lot nicer too. All right, now let's take a look at our left hand, which we'll place in F position for the entire song, which means our pinky will rest on F and our thumb on C. All right, now let's take a look at the chord progression for verse number 1. We'll start off with C major for 8 counts, which you can either hold or repeat in the right hand for each count, followed by F major for 2 counts, then G major for 2 counts, and lastly C major for 4 counts, and that repeats. Let's try that with both hands. Starting with C. Ready? C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down to F for 2, G for 2, C for 4. 2, 3. Of deliverance. 5, 6, 7. Down to F. On my feet. C for 4. Now, a great way you can add to the rhythm is to alternate between the left and the right hand like so. Together, right, left, right, left, right, left, so. Together, right, left, right, left, right, left, together, right, left, right, left, right, left, together, right, left, together, right, left, together, right, left, right, left, right, left. This is optional, so if you don't feel comfortable doing this just yet, stick with playing the chords together and repeating in the right hand, like we did in the first demonstration. This rhythm can also be done as much or as little as possible, but is especially great to do when you're leading into the next chord because it'll add momentum to your song. For verse 1, since it's just the beginning, I like to alternate just a little. So if you'd like to see how I do that specifically for verse 1, check out my part 2 play along video in the description box below, but please feel free to play however you like. Moving on to chorus 1. First off, we have F major for 2 counts, followed by G major for 2 counts, then C major for 4 counts, followed by A minor for 2 counts, then G major for 2 counts, and C major for 4 counts. That repeats with the last chord changing to A minor instead of C major. You could also, however, end exactly with C major, and that would go straight into verse 2. But the original song has a short interlude, which we'll learn together. Now let's hear the chorus, starting with F. Ready? F, 2, G, 2, C, 2, 3, 4. A minor for 2, G for 2, C for 4. 2, 3, back to F. F, 2, G, 2, C, 2, 3, 4. A minor, down to G, A minor. Moving on to the interlude. Since we ended our chorus with A minor, our next chord will be G major for 2 counts, then C major for 2 counts, F major for 2, and that repeats. Let's try it at the end of chorus 1, starting from I'm a child of God. A minor for 2, ready? I am a child. Interlude. G for 2, C for 2, F for 2. And that repeats. A minor, G, 2, C, 2, F, 2. All right, moving on to verse 2. Verse 2 has a new chord, which is E minor. So let's add an E. E minor consists of E, G, and B. However, we're going to take that E to the top and play G, B, E, making it E minor in first inversion. That way, it's right next to our other chords and sounds a lot nicer too. If you feel this is too difficult at first, feel free to play E minor in root position with the E on the bottom, as it's right next to the following chord, which in this case is F major. Let's take a look at the left hand for that E minor chord, which we can either play with our pinky, just moving down one for our pinky, or moving up with our thumb, or both, whichever one is more comfortable for you. Okay, verse 2 starts off with C major for 4 counts, then E minor for 4 counts, followed by F major for 2, then G major for 2, then C major for 4 counts, and that repeats. Notice how it's exactly the same as verse 1, except for that added E minor chord. All right, let's play through verse 2. Ready? C, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, G, 2, C, 2, 3, 4, C again, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, F for 2, G for 2, C for 4. Moving on to chorus 2, which is exactly the same as chorus 1, except it repeats the first part 3 times until we finally end with A minor. Now we're in the interlude, which is exactly the same as the previous interlude we looked at, with each chord for 2 counts. The studio version has extra lyrics that you may be familiar with on top of the exact same 4 chords of our interlude that just keeps repeating over and over. To see and hear how that sounds with vocals, make sure to head on over to part 2 play along video in the description box below. Alright, now for the bridge. We can either take 2 options. The studio version starts with a bridge which repeats, followed by a vocal interlude which repeats the last 3 chords and then ends the entire song with the chorus. Option number 2 is a shorter version without the vocal interlude and starts with a bridge which repeats with the last chord changing to A minor for a repeated tag that ends with the chorus as well. So let's take a look at option number 1, starting with the bridge with A minor for 2 counts, then G major for 2 counts, then C major for 2 counts, then F major for 2 counts, and that repeats, followed by A minor for 2, G for 2, C for 2 counts, then E minor for 2 counts, then F for 2 counts, G for 2, C major for 4 counts, and that repeats. Let's try that with hands together. A minor for 2, G for 2, C for 2, F for 2, that repeats, A minor, G for 2, C for 2, F for 2, A minor again. You rescued me and I will, C for 2, E minor for 2, F for 2, G for 2, C for 4. And that repeats exactly the same. Now for the vocal interlude, we'll repeat those last 3 chords over and over and end with the chorus. Starting with F. Yes, I am a child of God. Again, the same thing. F for 2, G for 2, C for 4. And that repeats over and over and over. F for 2, G for 2, C. Full of faith, yes, I am a child of God. And so on and so forth. Ending with the chorus, which is F major for 2 counts, G major for 2 counts, C major for 4 counts, followed by A minor for 2, G major for 2, C for 4 counts, and that repeats. Let's hear that. Chorus 3, F for 2, ready? I'm no longer, G for 2, C for 4, 2, 3, A minor for 2, G for 2, C for 4. That repeats. I'm no All right, now for option number 2, which again is a shorter version, cutting out that vocal interlude. Starting with A minor for 2. Ready? You split the sea so I could walk. F for 2. That repeats A minor. 2, G for 2. C for 2. F for 2. A minor again. G for 2. C for 2. Get ready for E minor for 2. F for 2. G for 2. C for 4. That repeats with the last chord changing A minor. Split the sea so I could walk. F for 2. That repeats A minor. G, C for 2. F for 2. A minor. You rescued me and I'm standing. E minor. F for 2. G for 2. A minor. 2. Oh, I am tagged for G2. A minor for 4. Yes, I am a child of God. Then we can end with the chorus. I'm no longer. G for 2. C for 4. 2, 3. A minor for 2. 2. G for 2. C for 4. That repeats. I'm no longer a slave to fear, 'cause I am a child of God. And that's it, guys. If you'd like to hear those chords with vocals, click the video in the description box below for part 2 of this video and feel free to play along with me. And that's it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and comment down below with what your favorite worship song is that you'd like to see me do next. Love you guys, and see you next time.